Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Shakir Hussainiya, founder of wealthacademy.com and creator of salesfounders.com. And I'm super excited today because, as you know, I'm on a mission right now for my new book. This is version 1.0. Backpack Millionaire version 2.0 is all about how everyday average people are making six figures, over $100,000 per year, or over $1 million per year whilst they're traveling around the world. And the coolest part about this new mission that I'm doing right now, and this fun thing, is this new version is all about non-gurus. So, you know, sometimes when you're on Instagram and you're on YouTube and you see all these guys flashing Lamborghinis, and you see all these ladies on Instagram and they're the makeup artists and they're all sorts, and those are great. But what if you could be a total, somewhat of an introvert? You don't have to put yourself on video. You don't have to be in front of a stage or an audience, but you could quietly make a fortune for yourself, for your family. And today I have someone who I'm really excited, because I remember 10 years ago when I started, this guy, Aiden. Aiden, hello, can you hear us?
Hey, I can hear you. Good to be here.
All right, good to be here. Aiden is one of those guys I've been watching and following for now around 10 years since I got started. And I was just sharing with Aiden how him and his business partner, Steve, you know, they really helped me think much bigger, because when I was completely new and starting out, these guys were making over $100,000 per month. And the coolest thing again is these guys are just like somewhat, I wouldn't call you guys introverts, but you're behind the scenes making money. You know, you're not like a big time guru. You're not on stage every single week like all these other guys. You know, I would almost go to say as you're non-internet famous.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Totally.
And I'm just inspired by your humbleness. So I'm going to get straight in. Aiden, firstly, thank you so much for giving us time. I know this is an interview that we're leading on. We're doing this. I'm doing this because I'm also recommending a free training class, a virtual training class, a webinar that you and your partner are hosting exclusively for my audience, okay? Exclusively for the Wealth Academy community and for all my future backpack millionaires. So with that being said, I did find out that you've traveled to 48 countries.
That's right. Done a lot of traveling. I've lived the backpack lifestyle, and actually I built my business when I was traveling.
Awesome. So, you know, once I put this back over here, let me ask you this, because I'm guessing, you know, you wasn't always a millionaire, and you know,
that's right.
Why don't you kind of, before we go into the good stuff, why don't you share a little bit about, you know, where you're from and how you came on into the scene and go from there?
Yeah, so I'm from New Zealand originally, and I met my wife on a ski trip that I did when I was much younger, and she was from Argentina. So I decided, you know what, I want to go to Argentina, but I had a big student loan at the time. I'd been studying, I had a student loan. I came to Argentina without any money, and I couldn't speak Spanish. So the first thing I did was I looked online. I thought, you know, if I could just figure out how to make a little bit of money online, then that would allow me to stay in Argentina and not have to go back and get a job in New Zealand. So I went down so many different rabbit holes. I tried everything that you could imagine, but little by little, I started actually making some money. And then I realized, you know, it's actually possible to do this thing. And I really sort of focused, doubled down, kept traveling, but doubled down on my business. And, you know, the rest is sort of history. I've been able to grow it every single year. And, you know, I'm so thankful for the freedom that's given me.
Yeah, I also know that you've got literally tens of thousands of paid students from all over the world. You know, I was just telling you one of your students who was making over $100,000 a month that I had met back 10 years ago. So, I mean, right. I can only imagine how you've helped so many people in terms of, you know, your skill set and stuff. Like, did you study at university? You know, kind of go a little bit about that. What really happened? I mean, I'm trying to figure out, like, do you have extra coding skills? Are you a programmer?
No.
Okay.
No,
good.
no, I absolutely don't. I don't have any background in anything like that. I studied manufacturing at university. And I worked in that career, let's say, for maybe like 6 months before I was able to give that up and do something that I really wanted to do, which was, you know, build my own business. So I definitely do not have any special technical ability at all. I would say, if anything, that's my weakness. But, you know, I always had this vision. I had this desire to have enough money to enjoy myself and, you know, live a life of freedom and basically on my terms. So that was, you know, what my driving factors have always been.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, when you were starting off and, you know, you were moving with your wife and you were feeling uncertain, and I'm guessing you also had people that were maybe naysayers and dream crushers, because I mean, how did you overcome that? Because what happens is, you know, so many people say, I want a laptop lifestyle, I want to start a business, and then their husband or their wife or their kids or their grandkids, you know, or their co-workers are like, hey, stay away from those things, you know, stay away from trying to get rich on the internet. So how did you tackle that? What did you say in your mindset? How did that happen?
Well, the first thing, that absolutely happened to me. People were saying, you know, don't quit your job. You don't have a steady income, this, that, and the other. But what I realized was that if I was going to stay in my job, I was going to eventually plateau. Maybe that would be $100,000 a year, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but it's going to be somewhere in that range. That was where I was headed. And I knew that in order to make $100,000 a year, I'd probably have to be working 40, 50 hours a week, building someone else's business. And if I wanted to earn more than that, or if I wanted to have the ability to travel and to be truly geographically free, then I would never be able to do that if I stayed in the rat race. So for me, it was just a case of, look, there's a crystal clear path going one way, and I know I don't want that. There's another alternative path, which I've had some success with, and I've seen other people succeeding with. I'm going to go after that, and the upside is much, much higher. And I also realized that I could hedge my bets a little bit, because the businesses that I was starting were something I could do on the side. I could start them with 5-6 hours a week, you know, dabble away until I started making money, and then I could decide to go all in. So, you know, I didn't really have much downside. And regarding the naysayers, I just sort of ignored them, and then, you know, wake up one day and they're still working their job, and I've got all these amazing, I've been able to live all these amazing dreams that, you know, would just be dreams to most people.
Now that's reminds me of when I started off internet marketing. At the time, I was super overweight. Like, I was morbidly, like, you know, obese, basically. I had long, greasy hair, and I just wanted to start this business. And I had friends and family and people that I knew. They would say, you know, Shaq, why are you trying to get rich on the internet? Why don't you go and get a 9-to-5 job? And obviously, being a brown Asian kid, you know, my parents said, go to school, go to college, go to university, get a degree, get a job. And that was my path, you know, in my family. God bless my family. All my siblings and my relatives, they're super educated. You know, they've got a proper, like, a 9-to-5 job. And then I come out and I'm like, no, I don't want that. Why? Because I'm watching these guys on the internet, kind of like videos just like this. You know, they don't look any different, you know, and they're not wearing big suits and ties. And they're talking about how I could make 6 figures a year or 6 figures a month. And I just remember thinking, wow, like, I thought I'd have to be a doctor to make 6 figures a year. I thought, you know, if I make 100 grand a year, I'm like rich, you know. And then I get on the internet and I actually, you know, saw people like yourself and your partner, Steve, you know, Mysterious Steve, I like to call him, you know, Mysterious Steve, because he never makes any videos. But for those of you guys who are watching this video, you're going to be invited to actually meet Mysterious Steve. I remember, you know, hearing about this Mysterious Steve, and I think he was in America at the time, and I was obviously living in London, and hearing how these guys make millions of dollars, and it just blew my mind. You know, it blew my mind. And back then they used to use something called ClickBank, where they would be selling digital products. And so, you know, the way I look at it is that there's always two types of people, right? It's like some people are like watching the world go by, you know, and some people are jumping in. So for me, when I was starting out, I saw, you know, yourself, I saw Steve, and these guys were selling digital courses. And I thought, if they can do it, so can I. And then I saw, like, my friends and even some of my family members, they said, you know, no one buys digital courses. But now it's so popular. You got these programs like Udemy and ClickBank, and you know, people are there's so many people right now making money. If you are watching this and you're not even making let's say $300 a day, and you don't have a clear path to scale to at least 1,000 US dollars per day, then what you need is serious mentorship. You need to be able to find someone and get a system and say, okay, I need to follow that person. And that's where I want to ask you now, because if you're telling me, Aiden, that you don't have any technical experience, coding experience, you don't have any of these things, and you sound like a pretty normal dude. Who taught you this? Like, who was a mentor, and how did you find that mentor? Like, what happened there?
So for me, I took really the hard path because, like you, I didn't even know that this stuff existed. So when I was starting to like test around and dabble, I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have a method. I was just like, oh, maybe I could do that. And I was using trial and error. So it took me basically 2 years to get to the point where I had this steady income. Whereas nowadays, people who have got a method or a blueprint, I mean, they can be up and making money literally in a couple of weeks. So I definitely did it the wrong way, but that was just because I wasn't aware that there even were any, blueprints or courses. So my business partner, Steve Clayton, he was one of the first people that I learned from, actually. I went through a course with him many, many years ago, and that worked really well for me. And then, I connected with him, and I've taken many other courses over the years. So in many situations, I've been on a training webinar or workshop or watched videos online, and I've invested in myself. And I've realized that most things tend to be overcomplicated, and if you can just dumb it down and keep it nice and simple, then you can get results. So I think that's probably been one of the secrets.
Yeah, absolutely. I always teach my students at Wealth Academies that in life you can get to where you want to go, whether that's trying to make more money or trying to lose weight or trying to find the love of your life. You can either choose to find mentors, or you will make it through mistakes. And sadly, I'll give you an example, Aiden, because, we're talking, my wife, she's American, right? And she yesterday hooked me up with this doctor to give her a consultation. Now, I don't really do consultations. I charge $5,000 an hour, and I just don't do any consultations. And I thought, you know what? She's a doctor. She's going to just I can have a conversation with her and help her. And, it's my wife's friend. So I somewhat felt, let me just do it for free. If your wife came up to you and said, hey, hook up this person. So I said, okay, I'll spend an hour. The call went on for 2 long hours. And in that call, the doctor, she's been running her clinic for decades. She is what most people would consider successful. She's, making money, happy on the outside. But I could just talk to her and I could feel that inside she was not where she wanted to go. And she kind of told me that she had invested more than $170,000, okay, which is a huge amount of money. She invested $170,000, and she started, building courses that took her years. She started, building a WordPress website, all of these things. And I simply just said to her, the method that we teach is you sell first and then you build. And she just had the biggest look on her face, like, and I was like, I was thinking to myself, I shouldn't have said that, because now she's probably feeling like, what the heck have I done? So imagine spending 3 years and $170,000 and then realizing, boom, you've hit a brick wall, because in our programs, we teach how to find proven products to go and sell. And once you have what I call an unfair advantage, which basically means once you have a software or a system or a mentor that shows you, hey, kind of do this, not that, then you have an unfair advantage. Whereas this lovely lady, she's in her 50s now, and she's got kids, and she's telling me that she'd love to spend time hiking in France and taking time off, which, if you're watching this, you probably feel the same way, right? You probably want to spend more time with your friends and family and loved ones, and you want to do things for your community, just like her, except one wrong move. And she said, mind my language, I stopped swearing, but she said, I think I got it all ass backward. And I was just like, so blown away, because I'm like, whoa, So here's the thing, right? The reason why I share that story is because this is why it's so important to learn from someone that has a method and a proven blueprint that can take you from step A all the way to step Z. And I've seen some of the students that you've helped. They are actually some of my students. I just got off the phone with Jeremy. He's from Canada. I think he's not from Vancouver. He's from Canada. I think Alberta, Canada. That's where he's from. And Jeremy just said, he basically became one of your students with your 4-step method. And he said, like, this is just mind blowing. And he said, I've just like stopped everything and I'm just going all in. And I said, listen, I know those guys. I know Steve and Aiden. You should just do nothing but just follow them. Because sometimes when you start on the internet, and you're trying to make money, right? What happens is there's so many different ways. Like someone's telling you about their affiliate program, their MLM, their network marketing program, their online, how to make money with Facebook groups, how to make videos on YouTube and all of this. And the reason why I got you here, Aiden, is because you have a totally new and unique way of doing things. I'm just like, wow. So like, for example, my sisters, right? Like my sister, I'm a little bit more of an extroverted character if you didn't realize, right? My sisters, on the other hand, they are like, they just basically, they have kids, they stay at home. And I'm like, this would be so perfect for them because they're not interested in, having a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers. They don't care about having, I don't even know if they have Instagram. I just texted one of them and she said, I don't have a Facebook account. Okay, so that's where I'm going with this, right? And I'm like, thinking Aiden's system. I gotta get Aiden's system. I gotta put my sister in Aiden's system and get her to go through your 4-step method. Kind of leading us into what is the 4-step method that everyday average people are now using to make an extra $100 per day to $1,000 per day. And I know you've got even 7-figure, you've got millionaire students. So kind of maybe just briefly talk about this. I am doing something very special, by the way. There's going to be a link below this video, wherever you're watching this, on wealthacademy.com or on my YouTube channel, wherever, on wealthacademy.com/4 steps. Okay, the letter 4 and then steps. So wealthacademy.com/4 steps, which we're going to do a special training, kind of like over the shoulder, step-by-step training with Aiden and Mystery Steve. Both of them are going to be showing you exactly how the system works. But why don't you kind of give us a bird's eye view? So, because I don't want to overwhelm anyone, I want to just give you a little taster of how this system works.
Yeah, so firstly, the type of website that we build, the way that we make money is selling physical products. So the easiest way to think about this is, let's say you search for something online. Maybe it's a yoga mat. So you go to Google, you type in yoga mat, and then at the top of Google, you'll see some images of different yoga mats. One might be $50, one might be $20, another one might be $100, whatever. You click on one of those yoga mats, that takes you to a store. That's one of our stores, or one of the stores that we build. Someone can buy that yoga mat. That yoga mat is shipped out to them from a supplier, not us, from someone else. And it arrives at the customer's house within a couple of days. So very, very fast shipping. So we build websites that do that, essentially, sell all kinds of different products. And we load up products which we have identified as being highly profitable products. And we just we install the store, we put products on it, and then we send traffic. And that traffic is a very special kind of traffic because it's not interrupt-driven traffic. It's traffic that is from people who are actively searching to buy something. So if someone types in yoga mat, they know that they want to buy a yoga mat. And they're searching for it, and they find our website, and then they go ahead and they can, a certain percentage of people are going to actually buy it. So we're building simple websites. Yep. So yeah.
Traffic is essentially, to make money on the internet, you need only really the two things. You need traffic and something we call conversions. So traffic is essentially people. So people are on Facebook, on Google, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on YouTube, on Twitter, LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. And then we need to have conversions, which is basically a shop, right? So the more traffic that we can bring into a shop, the more money we can make, right? And you're saying basically you're going to show people how to find hot selling products, right?
Yes, find hot selling products and put them on your own shop so you can sell these products yourself and make money. So you know, you never buy a product until it's actually sold. You made a mention of this before. So if I sell a yoga mat, I might get $100 come into me, and then I'll pay the supplier $30 or $40 or whatever it is. And I'll say to the supplier, hey, send this to Joe who's in Houston, and it'll get sent out. And this is all automated, by the way. I'm just trying to give you the high level overview here. So that's basically how it works.
Wow. So you're basically saying like, oh, this is amazing. And I'm excited to be on this web class with you. So essentially people can make money, right? By selling digital everyday products, digital or physical everyday products, without seeing it literally with their eyes, without storing it in their garage or their basement. Like I used to store stuff in my parents' garage and in their spare room. So you're saying they don't have to see the product, they don't have to touch the product, they don't have to even buy the product up front, but they could sell it.
That's right. Wow. That's right. And you know, there are a few other big benefits there as well. You don't have to worry about running any sort of fancy advertising. You don't have to worry about sourcing products from China. Typically with this e-commerce, as we call it, a lot of the products come from China, and that causes delays. It means you have to buy a lot of inventory and this, that, and the other. But we're bypassing all of that. So we're just saying, okay, we're going to set up a store. We've got this enormous repository, a big database of different products that we can sell from, and we can slice and dice the data and see which ones make sense. And then we can say, okay, I want to sell the yoga mat, or I want to sell an iPhone case, or whatever it might be. Put them on our store, and then we do a couple of things to get traffic coming into our store. Some people buy it, and then once they purchase it, it's all automated. The supplier ships out the product to the customer. We never have to touch it. We don't have to deal with the customer at all. It's all 100% automated. Customer gets the product, we get our profit, and we rinse and repeat.
Wow. And so like, someone watching this, they wouldn't even need a website, right? Like their shop and stuff, because this is pretty much all done for you with the stuff.
Yeah. So the way that we set it up is we've got some special software, which is literally the push of a button. You press a button, and that will install your store for you. That will set all of that up for you. And then same with the products. We've got this big database of amazing products. There's over 5 million products in there that are, in stock, available in the United States or wherever to sell them. And if you see one that you like, you just press a button. It sort of zaps it into your store, and then you're good to go with that product as well.
Wow. And so, you're going to give us a demonstration of your special software and how newbies can basically start making money, even if they're totally brand new. So it doesn't require like websites or sales funnels or high ticket programs or selling on the phone, none of that, right?
Right. I mean, you will have a simple store, a simple website, but this is something we set up with the push of a button, and we're going to show you exactly how all of that works and go through each of the steps. And, it's working amazingly well. Even through the midst of this global pandemic, our sales have actually increased. So where a lot of businesses are suffering, we need to hire more people to help, continue to build our business. So this is booming. It's a great time to be involved with this.
Yeah, I heard e-commerce sale is like up like 80%. Guys, listen, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're like 16 years old, make sure your parents are on the web class, or you're 60 years old and you want an extra way to supplement your income. You want to maybe replace your income. You want to have an extra source of maybe passive income coming in. You must attend this, once in a lifetime opportunity, because here's the thing as well. This is not something that is available to the public, right, Aiden?
That's right. No, it's completely locked down. It's by private and invite only, and it's just the fact that we know one another, so we're able to share this with your audience. Yeah,
I'm really privileged, honored, very humbled as well, because I have seen the other guys are like Robert Kiyosaki who's promoting this. So I was like, wow, this is insane, because not only have you guys helped me 10 years ago when I was starting out. I was sharing some of the stories with you. Robert Kiyosaki as well, author of the Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I'm just super excited. And if you're watching this video, we are hosting a free virtual web class, like an online seminar that you can attend. Okay, if you head over to wealthacademy.com/4 steps, you're going to be able to see how this radically brand new, unique system can work for you. Okay, so I'm excited. Aiden, listen, thank you so much for being here. I just have one or two more questions, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
A lot of times what happens is we get so hung up on just like making money, and you can show people how to make an extra $100 a day, $500 a day, $1,000, or even $10,000 a day and beyond. And that's great for like, financial well-being. For your own personal well-being, if I'm going to just ask you a couple of personal questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course.
Outside of the business, what do you and your wife enjoy doing?
We've got 2 young kids. We've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So we enjoy spending a lot of time with them. We've traveled a lot. We're not traveling at the moment because, we're sort of locked down at the moment, but we spend a lot of time with our kids. We like getting together with other families, and, we're just a regular family who likes having family time and traveling. And, we enjoy the little luxuries of life that we can, afford nowadays. We get back to New Zealand quite regularly because my family is there. We love going on adventures, basically.
Oh, I like it. If you were going back, say, 10 or 20 years, and you could give your younger self some advice, what would one piece of advice be?
Yeah, I think one thing would be that it's never too late. Firstly, it's never too late to start your own business, but the sooner you get into it, the better as well. Because I remember when, in my last job, before I was actually able to build my own business, I was completely new in this company. And the woman that sat next to me, she had been in the company for 20 years. And there were some, some economic conditions that were quite tough in New Zealand at the time. And I had just started, and she got laid off, and she had been there for 20 years. She knew way more than me. And at that moment in time, I was just like, oh my God, there is no such thing as security if you're relying on a day job. And that was really the last thing that I needed to see happen when I became clear in my mind that, look, I've got to take control of my own destiny if I really want to be secure and I want to be free to do whatever it is that I want. So I feel like that was a big lesson for me. And the sooner I could have, if I had known about that even sooner, then I probably would have started my business 5 or 10 years earlier. But I think it's a good lesson for everyone to be aware of if they're not already aware of that.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that personal story, because I think, being very frank and direct, everyone knows this, everyone, there's a, that little voice everyone has, everyone knows inside of the little voice, the little voice is that you shouldn't rely on one source of 9-to-5 income, job, or seeing what's happening in the world. There's a voice, and call it intuition or whatever, but you and I feel it, right? Like, if you're watching this and you've watched this far, then you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, because you're seeing all this craziness happening in the world, craziness and chaos. And then there's a group of people that are completely going on with their day-to-day lives. Like, God, all praise to God. I actually have not been affected in one tiny bit. My parents only live 20 minutes away, so I drive there. And my business has actually been going up and up and up because, for the last 10 years, I've been telling people, hey, there's a new way. You can work from home. You can work from anywhere. You can travel around the world and make money. And now, due to what's happening in the world, people are coming back and they're saying, hey, Shaq, I came to your seminar 5 years ago or 2 years ago. Shaq, I've been following you for 8 or 10 years. And now they're coming in buying. So we've literally just come off a record-breaking month. And I'm like, wow, like, this is great. And I do know something, and this is what they call a damaging admission. I also know very upfront, my stuff doesn't always work for everyone, because, if you're trying to build a personality brand and you want to put yourself out there and you want to have high ticket programs, I'm your guy. When it comes to sales funnels and all of this stuff, I'm your guy. But what if you wanted to just be like, hey, let me figure out how to make money without being a person on video or guru? How do I make money selling physical products, and build a real business like that, where one day I could even sell it? And this is going to be my last part, right? That I'm going to share with you. And maybe you can share a perspective, and then we're going to wrap it up. Is earlier this year, I sold one of my e-com businesses, and it wasn't a huge business, but would make anywhere from 500 to around $2,000 per day. And someone came in and they offered us, I think, close to around 6 to 8x. What that means is, whatever money we were making in terms of profit, they were going to come in and just give us a big, large sum. And I remember I was like, huh? Okay. And once the money cleared, I was like, whoa. I mean, I could literally just build up these tiny little, somewhat like an ATM machine, a money-making store, and then I could just find someone. And there's so many ways that you can find people, and you could literally sell it for 5 or 10x. So, right, like imagine, you join the virtual web class on wealthacademy.com/4 steps. You go there, you register, you join, you see how it works, you take advantage, you now start building your own stores. Well, there's no limit, right, Aiden? There's no limit how many stores you can build.
That's right.
And what if you said, you know what? I've got a family member, I've got a kid, I've got a grandkid. Let me go and build 5 stores. And then you say, you know what? I just want to build a 6th store just for fun. Just so that with the money I make from that store, that could pay off all my bills, buy myself a nice car on a monthly basis. And heck, when I want to, I could just sell it off. So have you got any experience in that, Aiden? I just wanted to add in a little.
No, absolutely. In fact, we'll talk a little bit more about this in the web class, but we've recently, in the past 6 months, sold a couple of websites. One was sold for over $900,000, and another one was sold for, I think it was $544,000. So we've got screenshots, and we show you how, all this took place. But that's another, we call it like the cash out strategy. So you can either build up a passive income that pays you, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, or whatever it is, day after day after day. Or if you want to, you can sell up. And there's high demand for this style of business because it's very, very predictable. It's riding a wave that's trending up right now. There's just huge demand for that kind of a thing. So if someone wants to sell, this is kind of the perfect online business that can be sold.
Wow. Aiden, listen, thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to this so much, and meeting your mystery Steve as well. So again, thank you so much. I know, my people are going to be appreciating this. Make sure you guys watching this, leave us a review on iTunes. Drop a comment below. I'm going to be reading every single one of these comments and even responding to you guys. So make sure that you comment below, and we look forward to seeing you on the webinar. Okay, make sure you go to wealthacademy.com/4 steps. There's going to be a link below this video. Get registered, you guys. This is going to be an absolute amazing time. So, Aiden, thanks a lot, brother.
Thanks.
Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome. What's going on? It's Shakir Hussain here, and the reason why I'm actually holding $1,000 cash, I'll explain to you in just a second. But basically, I've been traveling around the world, as you know, doing interviews for my book, okay, Backpack Millionaire. And, this version was mainly about how I became a backpack millionaire. Version 2.0 is going to be around, how I go and find other non-gurus, other non-famous people, and how do I go and interview them so that you can learn, how to start a business, how to grow it, how to create massive amounts of profits, even whilst, there's a recession and crisis and pandemics going on, all in an ethical manner whilst working from home or traveling around the world. And the reason why I have $1,000 cash on my hands is because this is so powerful. I am willing to ethically bribe you, and I'm literally going to be picking out winners, and I might just give you $100. I might even just pick one person and just give them $500. Maybe I can give $200-300 to someone. But bottom line is this: I'm going to be giving away $1,000 cash for attendees. Okay, so you have to register, and not just register like just hey, let me just check this thing out, but actually show up on this live class that I'm doing. Okay, so Hopefully by now you've enjoyed the interview that I did with Aiden. Make sure that you register, because I am so pumped to be showing you the 4-step radical new system that's working in today's new economy that you can use to start a business, to grow your profits, and to start creating a new passive income. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. I'll see you on class. Bye for now.